was handed off to the National Center for Science Education. The NCSE was helping the lawyers who were arguing to keep intelligent design out of Dover High School. Knowing of pandas and people would be central to the case, Nick Motzke investigated the book.
When the court case was filed and pandas was adopted in the policy, it became clear that pandas was going to be the representative of intelligent design for the purposes of this case. And so the history of that book became important, the arguments it made became important, and we undertook to dissect these various aspects in preparation for the case.
Motzke dug into pandas, examining it page by page, and scouring the internet to see what he could unearth about its history. Rummaging through the NCSE archives one day, Motzke came across a creationist student newspaper from 1981. At the bottom of the front page, he noticed a tiny article with a headline announcing "Unbiased Biology Textbook Planned." And that article mentioned that a man named Charles Thaxton, now a fellow at the Discovery Institute, was working on a book that would present both evolution and creation.
The academic editor was Charles Thaxton, who was the editor of the Pandas book. So it was clear that that ad was referring to the Pandas project. What was interesting is that it talked about the book being about creation and evolution instead of the later terms intelligent design and evolution.
If they could show Pandas started out as a creationist book, that would suggest intelligent design is simply creationism repackaged, and therefore inherently religious. Motzke emailed this information to Eric Rothschild, who immediately issued a subpoena to the publisher of Pandas for any drafts the book went through before printing. In a few months, they received 2 boxes of material. The lawyers sent them to Barbara Forrest, a philosophy professor and author who has been tracking intelligent design for years. She was scheduled to testify in the trial.
Oh my goodness. Those 2 boxes contained about 7,000 pieces of paper. And I had to sit down with those documents and just start flipping through them, which is what I did, day and night.
After much digging, she hit pay dirt. Buried in these documents were 2 drafts of Pandas straddling the 1987 case of Edwards versus Aguillard, in which the Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional to teach creationism in public school science class. One draft was written before the case, and the other revised just after.
In the first 1987